When I was a kid, I thought that Farfetch'd was a legendary Pokemon. I found it once in a piece of grass and it just never showed up again. Honestly, I probably just forgot where I found it. Well, it's not a legendary Pokemon. It's actually pretty bad. Funny enough, after beating the game with Pokemon like Jigglypuff, Oddish, and Geodude, I strongly believe that Farfetch'd is going to be an easy run. Let's check out its stats. This has got to be one of the most well-rounded Pokemon I've used so far. Luckily, the attack stat is the best. Flying attacks in Generation 1 are all physical moves, so I'll be able to make good use of this stat. Even having a slightly higher special will actually help us tank attacks from strong Pokemon like Alakazam. Our Learn set is limited, but Swords Dance and Body Slam will be an incredible combination. When HMs are in play, we'll have access to Fly as well. This will be our strongest stab move and the best option against all Ghost Pokemon. Let's go over the rules quickly before I get started. I'll only use Farfetch'd in battle. I'll catch other Pokemon for HMs in order to progress through the game. However, I won't use them in battle. If Farfetch'd faints by an opponent using Self-Destruct, I'll consider the battle a loss even if I win due to having another Pokemon on my team. I won't use any items in battle. I'll use items between battles and to teach Farfetch'd new moves though. Finally, I won't use glitches. I do consider the badge boost glitch to be fair game though, so I may end up using that to get through hard fights. And with that, let's get into it. In order to make this run as hard as possible, I'll have to defeat the rival at both locations in the early game. The first fight I get a bit dirty. Finally, I get to be the one using Sand Attack. After getting off a few Sand Attacks, I switch into Peck and take the Eevee down. Next, I train up a bit so I'll be high enough level to take on the rival west of Viridian City. This fight is a bit scary. I get my stats lowered a lot by both Spearow and Eevee. Once he finally starts hitting me, I'm taking a lot of damage every turn. Luckily, my final turn I land a critical hit and I take down the Eevee. Since I've defeated him at both locations, he'll now have a Jolteon once his Eevee finally evolves. Brock is next. My attempt at level 13 is very encouraging. I think Peck is dealing 2 damage to the Geodude. Now, I can probably get through this fight with some dirty Sand Attack tactics. Obviously, I'm not above that at all. I've been trolled by this move so many times. I want to see if I can actually get past Brock without being too overleveled. Maybe it will make the rest of the run a bit more difficult. So let's check out Sand Attack. After taking a few hits from Geodude, I knock its accuracy down and go to town on it with Peck. After that, Onix comes out. This fight is even easier. Since it likes to use Bide consistently, I can buy time with Leer on those turns and then retaliate and deal massive damage with Peck. I thought that Farfetch'd would have struggled a bit more with this fight. Surge is still coming up though, so I'm sure that it'll get harder from here. On the way to Cerulean, I ran into a strange problem. I kept losing to Jesse and James in Mount Moon. It took me 4 fights to get past them. I think the issue here is that Coughing is pretty tanky. Since they have 3 Pokemon and the fact that I'm underleveled, this fight was a bit tricky. In the end, I get some good luck and I was able to move on. I really hope this doesn't become a trend against them. That would be really embarrassing. The rival fight on Nugget Bridge is brutal. I don't have a way to boost my attack yet. Swords Dance is still a little way off, and because of that, Sandshrew is incredibly annoying, as it always is. I can't take it down quickly, and so it consistently just lands Sand Attack after Sand Attack, destroying my accuracy. I did have to go train up a couple levels, and then on my 4th fight, I finally got the luck I needed. Spearow didn't land a growl, so my attack is intact for my battle with Sandshrew. Against Sandshrew, its first attempt at Sand Attack misses. While it does land a single Sand Attack, the next turn my full attack stat allows me to KO it in just 3 turns. Excellent. Rattata is scary. It lands a Hyper Fang into a quick attack and takes me into orange health. I was very worried at this point. I ended up getting lucky versus Eevee though. After it takes me down to 5 HP, it proceeded to use non-damage dealing moves for the rest of its turns. Misty is up next. I think the best strategy here is to set up on Staryu and take Starmie down as quickly as possible. With my new move Swords Dance, I set up twice before taking the Staryu down with a single hit. Starmie is up next. This Pokemon is usually a bit scary. It gets an X-Defend turn 1 and then a Harden turn 2. That's really limiting the amount of damage I can deal to it. Turn 3, a bubble beam comes down. I was so scared this was going to take me out in a single hit. I lived through it and finished the battle off the next turn. The next fight with the rival on the SSN really shows the power of Swords Dance. This move is just so powerful. After setting up for 2 turns, I'm able to steamroll through the rest of his team in a series of single hits. It's also nice that Farfetch'd is able to learn Body Slam. Alright, next is going to be the hard one. Let's see if I can manage to take Surge on. I couldn't decide what move to open with. If Body Slam doesn't get it down under half health, I'm going to be worried that it will 2-hit me with Thunderbolt. In the end, I decided to set up with a single turn of Swords Dance. Luckily, Raichu's Mega Kick misses, and after that my Body Slam takes it down into low red health. In addition, I get a lucky Paralysis, which lets me outspeed the Raichu the next turn and take it down. I really wish Surge had at least one more Pokemon. That would make this fight a lot harder. The fact is, he only has one Pokemon, and that makes this fight really easy to win with luck alone. The Hiker fight in Rock Tunnel is really funny. I'm honestly not sure if I could take his Pokemon out fast enough before they use Self-Destruct on me. Because of that, I chose to use the Trolley Sand Attack strategy. The first 2 Geodudes self-destruct themselves and miss their attacks due to my Sand Attacks. Alright, this accuracy lowering thing really feels good. However, Graveler is scary. It just refuses to use Self-Destruct. It lands a Rock Throw and takes me down to very low health. I'm also lucky that it doesn't land any more hits and I can finally take it down after a few more turns. Erica is incredibly easy as you'd expect. At this point, I got Fly. After a couple turns setting up Swords Dance, Fly makes quick work of all of her Pokemon. Jesse and James in the Rocket Hideout are incredibly easy. Swords Dance is the MVP of this run so far. Giovanni is pretty scary. Rock-type Pokemon are a challenge for us because flying and normal moves can't deal very much damage. I really think I would have lost this fight if Giovanni didn't decide to use a guard spec on Persian. Persian's just so fast, it would have just one-hit me I think. I steamroll through Pokemon Tower and make my way down to Koga. Since this run is proving to be very easy, I am underleveled at this point. Maybe I can get through this fight without leveling up anymore. Let's see. I take a slightly risky option and decide to set up on Venonat. This is risky because these Venonat know both Psychic and Toxic. Luckily, Psychic isn't dealing massive damage to me. After 2 turns of setup, I switch into Body Slam. 3 Venonats later, Venomoth is up. This one could be tough. It lands a Toxic against me, but I get my Fly off. Luckily Fly one-shots the Venomoth and I've done it. I didn't have to level up more in order to get past Koga. Time to take on Silph Co. The rival here is tricky. Sandslash can deal a lot of damage to us with Slash. It can also poison us with Poison Sting. Because of this, I got stuck using a bad strategy for the first 5 fights. The correct strategy here is to just spam Swords Dance until I get it off 3 times in a row. It's highly unlikely that Sandslash can KO us before we get it off 3 times. After that, because our speed is decent, we can get through the rest of the fight. If you don't get all 3 Swords Dances, Cloyster usually deals a lot of damage with Aurora Beam, and then Jolteon takes you down at the end of the fight. With 3 Swords Dances, everything is a one-hit, and we can move on to Giovanni simply. He's also pretty easy. Setting up Swords Dance makes quick work of all of his Pokemon. Rhyhorn is annoying because it can tank so much damage though. The next fight with Giovanni might be really hard though, because Rhydon will know Rock Slide. So at this point I totally forgot Sabrina and went directly to Blaine. I start to set up Swords Dances and, well, this isn't good. Flamethrower is pretty good I guess. Let's try again. This time I get confused. That makes it a bit tricky to get off all my Swords Dances. After that I get a critical hit. The reason I didn't take Ninetales down is that critical hits in Generation 1 ignore all stat changes, including stat changes that would increase the damage for you. I managed to take the Ninetales down, but after that Rapidash locks us into a Fire Spin and takes us down. I really do think I can make it through this fight. So I can set up with 3 Swords Dances and then use Body Slam on both Ninetales and Rapidash. After that Arcanine comes out and I get a critical hit. Ugh, I thought I had it this time. Oh nice, it's paralyzed, and it can't move. With that, I've done it. Time to head back to Saffron and to take Sabrina down. Okay, get ready for it. This fight is really funny. I want to set up with one Swords Dance to ensure that I can one-hit Alakazam when I hit it. Perhaps this was a mistake. Abra hits its first turn flash. This flash feels like 4 turns worth of sand attack. From there, things become insanity. Abra misses its next flash, I miss my next attack, then Abra gets an X defend. After that, I manage to take it out and move on to Kadabra. Kadabra goes down immediately to my first Body Slam. Alakazam, her ace, is up next, and I'm pretty scared. I need to one-hit it. Psychic will probably just one-hit me, so I've only got 1 turn. I'm underleveled and Alakazam is the hardest hitting Psychic Pokemon in Generation 1. The first 2 turns pass as if they didn't exist. I miss twice and Alakazam uses Recover at full health. Right before I get off my first attack, Sabrina uses an X defend on Alakazam and saves it from KO range. The next turn it recovers and I miss. Then it gets Reflect Off. This really isn't going well. Luck is on my side and I finally get a Paralysis off. My next Body Slam manages to hit it and that's it. I've done it in a truly strange battle against Sabrina. The first fight against Giovanni makes a few things very clear. Dugtrio can't hit us, so we'll always be able to get off 3 turns of setup. After that, all 4 of his next Pokemon are easy takedowns in 1 hit. However, Rhydon is in fact as scary as I thought it would be. In this fight, I can't take it down in less than 4 hits. This is probably largely due to the fact that I'm leveling up during the fight, and leveling up in Generation 1 resets the badge boost glitch, so I'm actually getting less damage because I've leveled up mid-fight. I'll go and train a bit so that I level up so that I'm not leveling up anymore during this fight. Coming back at level 50, things go about the same. Until Nidoqueen, that is. I get 2 critical hits in a row, which means it lives through 3 turns. Nidoking is a 1-hit, and then I unfortunately level up again. Farfetch'd level up speed is really making this hard. Next time, I'm just using a rare candy, so I have absolutely 0 experience when I enter the fight. I really need as much damage as possible against Rhydon. This fight proves that. I deal decent damage with my Body Slam, but then Rhydon 1-hits me with Rock Slide. Yuck. Let's use that rare candy and hope that this is enough to make this happen. I will need to get a bit lucky versus Rhydon, but Rock Slide does miss often. I make it back to Rhydon. This time after using a rare candy, I haven't leveled up at this point in the fight. Unfortunately, Farfetch'd still isn't doing good damage to Rhydon. It gets a guard spec first turn, which allows me to hit it again on my second turn. The next turn, my heart sinks when it lands a Rock Slide. However, I survive through this one with 4 HP remaining. 4 HP! I did it. I'm off to the Pokemon League. Now the rival between here and the Pokemon League is actually very difficult. Sandslash usually takes us down into low orange health. After that, Execute and Ninetales aren't an issue at all. If I've managed to set up 3 Swords Dances, Cloyster goes down in 1 hit, leaving only Kadabra and Jolteon. Both of these are fast Pokemon. The fact that I'm leveling up before Kadabra is also a massive issue. Farfetch'd's fast level up speed is making this run harder. Luckily for me, Kadabra goes for a turn 1 recover and gets knocked out immediately. Jolteon is last. It misses its Thunder Wave and I've done it. This fight went very poorly 10 times before I got this run. I even managed a run where I beat him with only 1 HP remaining. Well, I actually forgot to film that one, so whoops, sorry. Let's examine the Elite Four. Lorelei is going to be really scary because we're a flying type. I think the best way to handle most of the members of the league will be to set up Swords Dance and then try to sweep through with Fly. I'll probably need a higher level than I am now. I'll give it a shot first, and if it doesn't work, I'll level up and rethink my strategy. Do you think I can do it? If you had to guess, what level do you think I'll need to be to make it through the league? Okay, let's do it. The first fight against Lorelei doesn't go as I'd expect. I set up with Swords Dance, and right away I realized that this fight is probably going to be extremely hard. Look how much damage I'm taking. I'm pretty sure 1 more hit will take me out. Let's just try another Swords Dance in case I survive. Oh my god, I actually survived. Okay, can I sweep from here? Dugong down. Okay, 4 to go. Cloyster down. Okay, Slowbro's next. This one is usually extremely tanky. Oh, whoa, I actually took it out. Okay, Jinx is next. This one's pretty fast. Maybe it's gonna outspeed me? Nope. Okay, Lapras is last. I'm feeling really confident. Let's do this, Farfetch'd. I'm so surprised. This fight was actually really easy. I'm feeling really good about the rest of the league after this. Bruno opens with Onix. It immediately goes for Rock Slide as I try to set up. However, it misses. After that, Bruno's truly awful AI derps around while I take the Onix down easily. The Hitmons are both one-hits because of my type advantage and stat boosts. The second Onix isn't an issue. Using Fly against it makes way more sense. I get stabbed with it, and it takes the Onix down in 2 turns. Well, 2 turns, flying up and down 2 times. Machamp isn't as fast as me, and I take it down in a single hit with Fly. Agatha starts with Gengar. It's really nice to have a stab move that can hit her ghosts. Lick doesn't affect me, so the first Gengar doesn't have any hard-hitting moves, so I can take the time to set up. One big disadvantage for me is that Agatha loves confusion. If I hit myself after setting up so much, it could end this run really quickly. However, after getting set up and avoiding confusion from Gengar, I sweep through the rest of her team without issue. Is Farfetch'd gonna steamroll through the Elite Four? So far I've won every fight on my first attempt. Let's see if I can keep this momentum going. I'll use a rare candy to ensure the best possible chance against Lance. Don't want to level up in the middle of that fight. Gyarados is up first, and this one's a beast. It knows both Hydro Pump and Hyper Beam. Those moves can deal massive damage, so I really need to think carefully about my setup. However, I get some good luck and I get all 3 Swords Dances off. After that, I one-hit the Gyarados. At this point, I'm almost 100% convinced that I can do this. And then this happens. I get a critical hit against the first Dragonair. Critical hits, you're really the worst in this generation. So the fact that I didn't take the Dragonair out allows it to land a Thunder Wave, which completely ruins my speed. From there, I'm done for. Okay, so the very next fight, I rip through all of Lance's Pokemon in one hit, until my small Leek Warrior gets to Aerodactyl, who survives a hit. Then Aerodactyl goes for Fly. This allows me to use Fly in response, which takes it out the next turn. Okay, Dragonite. Look at this. Dragonite goes down in a single hit. Farfetch'd and Swords Dance are seriously impressive. Let's go become champion. To guard against the mistake that I had in my previous fight, I teach Farfetch'd Rest. This will allow me to heal should I get paralyzed. Sandslash allows me to set up Swords Dance 3 times. Its most effective move, Earthquake, can't hurt us. After taking the Sandslash down, Alakazam and Exeggutor are single hits. That leads to Cloyster. This thing is always really annoying. I get a really unfortunate critical hit against it, and it lands an Aurora Beam. My second turn of Fly takes it down. Okay, 2 more Flies, and I've done it. Ninetales comes out, and another critical hit. I'm gonna go into Jolteon fight with only 39 health because of that. This really isn't the most confidence boosting situation. Jolteon comes out, and my first Fly misses. Seriously? Then Jolteon lands a Thunder Wave. Okay, I guess I'm dead. It's gonna take me out the next turn with Thunderbolt, and that's it. So it goes for Thunder, and misses. I get my Fly off. Yes, I can do this. Oh wait, my Fly didn't actually knock the Jolteon out. Then a miracle happens. Jolteon misses its next 2 Thunders. I finally land my Body Slam, and I've done it. Farfetch'd has triumphed over the league. So next I'll be doing a run with Jinx, and I won't be using any special moves. That's right, I'm doing a run with a physical attacking Jinx. If you've got an idea for a run that I should do in the near future, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next challenge.